It is 3 in the morning. You have a massive final exam tomorrow or a deadline breathing down your neck, yet you find yourself staring at a glowing screen, tightly gripping a controller. This behavior is self-sabotage, a strategic, active choice to undermine your own goals. Most of us are in this boat. Studies show that up to 95% of university students and the vast majority of adults report struggling with this exact pattern. We often assume our brains are simple pleasure-seeking systems, always hunting for the next dopamine hit or quick burst of happiness. But from an evolutionary standpoint, your brain is a prediction machine. Its primary job is to keep you alive, and to do that, it needs to know exactly what is coming next. These late-night distractions stem from a misfire in your brain's ancient survival programming. This graph maps how your brain expects your life to go. The vertical axis is your competence, and the horizontal axis is time. That perfectly flat line across the middle is your internal baseline, the level of safety and capability your brain expects you to maintain. Then you face a tough exam, or you get a surprise promotion at work. A jagged line of reality appears, moving sharply up and down, pulling away from your flat baseline. Look at the space between your expected baseline and that messy reality. That vertical gap is what scientists call a prediction error. To your primitive brain, that gap signals a threat. Even if reality moves upward because of a success, the uncertainty of being away from your baseline feels dangerous. Self-sabotage is the strategy your brain uses to drag reality back down to that flat baseline, closing the gap to feel safe again. To see how this threat response works physically, look at this car. The shape at the steering wheel is your rational thinking brain, guiding you forward. The moment a prediction error opens up, a panicked passenger, your brain's threat center, violently shoves your rational mind out of the way and takes control of the wheel. Your brain does have a built-in brake pedal, a specific internal system designed to step in and stop you from doing something impulsive. For those of us prone to self-sabotage, this brake pedal is weak. It feels like pressing down on a thick sponge. You push as hard as you can, but the car keeps hurtling forward. Since your threat center has physically seized the wheel, trying to use willpower to stop the car is like shouting at a driver who isn't listening. It doesn't actually reach the brakes. To stop this biological glitch, you have to run a manual override that actually reconnects your rational brain to the controls. Step 1 starts with a notebook. When the panic hits, physically write down the feeling. I am having the thought that I will fail. Writing forces you to observe the emotion rather than being the emotion. This simple shift moves the activity from your panicked threat center back to your rational mind, effectively prying the passenger's hands off the steering wheel. Step 2 handles the weak brake pedal. Instead of relying on willpower during the crisis, you bypass the need for a brake entirely. You do this by writing an if-then script. You identify the obstacle and preload the decision. If I sit on the couch, then I will put my phone in another room. Because the decision is already made, your brain follows the code automatically. This keeps the rational mind in control long enough for you to take a safe step. Let's look at this chart again to see how we create a lasting fix. Step 3 is adjusting your internal baseline so it actually matches the real world. You do this by running behavioral experiments. You submit a project before it is perfectly polished, or you share an idea that isn't finished yet. You are gathering real evidence that these situations are actually safe. When mistakes happen, you log them as neutral data points rather than proof of a character flaw. As you collect this data, your brain's expectations calibrate. The baseline shifts and tilts until it aligns with your real life, and the prediction error disappears. Once your brain sees that the world is safe, the alarm stops ringing, and the urge to self-sabotage quietly vanishes.